Good morning, Year 3. Today we're going to be talking about homophones. But before we start today's lesson, I've written a sentence onto the board. Let me just read it to you. The man walked through the street with his dog. The man walked through the street with his dog. It makes perfect sense, but as we often do in class, I'm going to get you to see if you can improve this sentence. This is the same activity on the top of your sheet for today. And it says, improve this sentence in 2 different ways. So you might be able to write this sentence out twice, but change some parts of it. Let me give you a few hints of things you might do. You might be able to change the opening of the sentence. You might be able to add some nice describing words in to describe the objects, the nouns. You might be able to change the verb, the action word, and maybe even extend your sentence by using a nice joining word to make it longer, to add a little bit more information. I'm going to pause my video for a second so I can improve the sentence. Maybe you can see if you can improve this sentence in 1 or 2 different ways. Hello, Year 3. Here's my improved sentence. After dinner, the old man jogged through the quiet street with his fluffy dog. So I've changed the opening of the sentence. I've said when the man did this. I've added in a describing word. I've changed the verb. And again, added in a couple more adjectives, a couple more describing words. I'm sure you came up with lots of interesting ideas as well, and I look forward to reading those later. But today's lesson is going to be about homophones. Homophones are words that sound the same. We say them the same, but they have a different meaning. They mean something different and are spelt differently. Quite often, you will use these words without even realising you're doing it. But maybe today, you'll realise a few words, maybe learn more words that are homophones and have homophones. So on the board, I've written some homophones. See, no, meet, pair and pair. These words sound exactly the same, but they mean different things, and as you can see, they are spelt differently. What I'd like you to do is again pause the video if you can and see if you can say what each of these words mean, and maybe even think of some sentences that you could put these words into. You haven't got to write them down, but maybe you can think about some sentences you could put these words into. So see and see, know and know, meet and pair and pair. And once you've had a go, we can discuss this afterwards. So why not pause the video and see if you can say what you think these words mean, and maybe think of some sentences for some of these words. Welcome back, Year 3. So let's just run through these words. I'm sure you knew most of these. As I said, I think lots of these words, you would use them and spell them correctly already, maybe not even realising that it's the same word spelt different ways. So this is the see, like with your eyes, what you can see. And this is the see, where you would find a boat on the sea, water. This type of know is in something you know the answer. Whereas this type of know is the opposite of yes, no, you can't do that. So again, they sound the same, but they mean different things. This is meet, where like you might meet one of your friends. Whereas this is the type of meat that you would eat. That's my attempt to draw a bone there with some meat on. This type of pair would be where it means more than one. So 2, a pair of shoes I've drawn here, or a pair of socks. Whereas this type of pair is the fruit. So again, these are words that sound exactly the same, but they mean different things and are spelt differently. Well done if you knew lots of those already. Your task for today, improve the sentence in 2 different ways, which we probably have already done if you were pausing the video. And then you need to match up these homophones. You may want to just colour the homophones the same colour, or just draw a line to match them up. And then take some of these homophones and put them into sentences. So I've taken the word knight and I've written it as a sentence. A knight was on his horse. And I've drawn a small picture to match up with my sentence. And you could choose any of these words and put them into a sentence. Just make sure you use the homophone correctly. You use the correct spelling that fits in with your sentence. And you can do that 5 times. And then if you have time, I have also written 2 sentences on the extension. You need to underline the word that is the homophone, the word that has another meaning that sounds the same, and then use that other word in a sentence, the homophone that matches up with that word in a sentence. So the game was not very fair. So fair is the homophone. Can you use the other meaning of the word fair in a different sentence as an extra challenge there? I look forward to seeing your work, Year 3. Remember, I will be on Google Meet if you'd like to check any answers or read any of your work to me. Thank you for listening.